It's week 5. Can you believe it? We're partway through the season. I don't know what the percentage is. I don't know what it is, but partway.
Is it 12 weeks?
Yeah, so almost halfway, or something like that.
Already.
It's gross, isn't it? It's gross, isn't it? So we're going to talk about all the week 5 fixtures coming your way. We are aware of some postponements that are coming in thick and fast, as I'm sure that if you're sat by a window, you can tell it's absolutely horrible weather in England. So we do know that NTU and Newcastle, that has been postponed, and probably the game that may end up deciding the North East 2, the York Centurions versus the Sunderland Spartans 2, has also been postponed. So that's just sort of a news flash for everyone, not a BAFRA news flash. Check the news flash.
I know who's going to be in this one.
Oh yes, there's going to be. Oh, Mr. McFarland, what a guy! What a legend. So yeah, that's
There's only one person in it.
Huh?
It's not on there.
No, it's just a AC for MMU.
No, okay, right. We're gonna get into it. It's week 5. Week 4 was amazing. It had lots of intrigue, lots of interesting results coming our way. Week 5, hopefully, it can deliver. There are some great games in there, especially in the Scottish one, and obviously the Premiership South as well. We're going to go with the National Premiership. It's the Durham Saints who played their first game last week, 77-0 against Leeds Beckett, taking on Loughborough. So realistically, the Durham Saints, it's time for them to shine. Everyone was, a little bit hushed about them because of their late start. They're looking good. 46 points in the first quarter against Leeds Beckett. Do we think Loughborough can put up a better fight here?
I think absolutely. They'll definitely do a better job than Beckett. I think at this point it's worth just. This sounds harsh, but worth just discounting results against Beckett. I'd argue that Durham's season properly starts this Sunday.
We have got a first comment here, and I think it is an interesting one. Amir saying, thoughts on having OT and no draws? Well, that's what it used to be like. Draws? It did. When I was playing, so about, 9 years ago at this point. Shut up. There was overtime. Personally, for me, I understand why, because normally these games are played late and referees have got to get off and people have got to get coaches and things like that. But it does make things harder. Obviously when it's in the sort of vein of the York Centurions having 2 draws, that's where it gets really, really tricky. Right. So, I did I did want to get into it, but I'll get into it in the Div 2 section of this, because I did speak to Coach Conor McPherson, because I was a bit worried. I was like, if you've drawn twice, and let's say you lose against Sunderland, that's basically it for you. And he's like, well, no, but it takes it out of our hands. But that's not the position you want to be in when you've not lost a game yet.
What if they draw again?
Well, that's it. Draw with Sunderland. And to be fair, I didn't realise this. I thought this would be the week where everyone will have played already. We'll have no more worries about teams that haven't played yet. But that's not true, because the York St John Jaguars still haven't played.
What if every team in that division draws every game? Then what happens to the Bucks standings?
Go to points, wouldn't it?
But if it's yeah. Okay.
That is a very, very hypothetical question for Tonye. And I'm sure that is an email that he would look at and go, I'm not answering this question. And, speaking of Div 2, we will get back onto National Prem. do check out the position for a American football person at Bucks. It's on our Instagram, and I mean it's a good opportunity to do something. If you're in Div 2, give it a crack.
I'm on
Look
it.
great
and
on your
it's,
CV.
It's useful.
Looks
It's
great on
useful.
the CV.
So it does look great on the CV. So back to it. Durham versus Loughborough. Realistically, these games against Loughborough and Beckett, I'd say more so Loughborough because I'd say they are a step above. It's going to be the case of the real litmus test for Durham is how much they can win in this game, and then obviously 22nd of November, having the Bullets go up to face them. It's going to be, that might as well be game of the week because that is actually starting to look, obviously dependent on the score this week, that for the first time in a long time, and this me hold my hands up. Huey Bullets ones could be the underdog in that match, which is crazy work, absolutely
Yeah.
crazy.
I've got a question.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Who do you think is worse, Leeds Beckett last year or Leeds Beckett this year?
We'll have to wait.
Last year.
Okay.
Last year was an absolute shell of a football club.
Well,
I don't know about that. When I commentated the Beckett game against the Bullets when they were at Hillside Gardens, there was some fight there. Well, there was a fight in the team this year, but it was just very much. Everyone seemed a lot more, driven towards the goal last year. Of just I think it's because it was later on in the season they understood where they were. So I'd say we've got to wait and see. Game of the weekend, I think. The SGS Pride versus the Brunel Burners. It's been a fair few years in the making. Obviously, when the SGS Pride came into the league many years ago, and it was looking very, very, and they were dominating people. They were dominating people. It was the Brunel Burners that held them to their lowest score line, and that's something that I have both teams forgotten. I don't think so, especially with SGS. Only being Portsmouth by 19, Brunel, not really putting on an absolute clinic against these Premiership South teams that have been, quite dominant. Well, not dominant, but they've been very prominent in the Premiership South over the last few years. Exeter, Cardiff, Brunel. If Brunel get the win here, running the first half of the table, that's a massive thing for Brunel.
I think bear in mind as well, this SGS game is at the end of a 3-game, like back to back. Like it's not going to be an easy game.
But I think that's what makes it good, and I think I did speak about this last week too. I think you and James is that I feel like the Exeter game is the game you needed. You needed some adversity going into the game with SGS to not just think that you're going to be able to go in and just mop the floor with the Pride, because I think that if you go in with that attitude, you will lose.
No, I think that's it. I think it's been a thing we've treated it just like the other games in this, and by that I mean like the amount of prep that we put into every game this year compared to last year is on a different level. The amount of prep we put into the SGS game 3 years ago is the kind of prep that we're put into every game this year. So, yeah, all I know is that the game won't be called off because it's on a beautiful 3G pitch.
Yeah, I always do like going back to SGS and like just being like, wow, a football field.
Wow! Look at
Wow. So also in the Prem South, Portsmouth versus Exeter. Can Portsmouth right their losing ways against Exeter? For me,
this is a must win for them.
It's a must win for them. Again, like as I said on Monday, I was very close to hitting them with the adage of 5 years ago where I cast them off into relegation in my mind, only for them to come back and defeat Imperial in the playoffs. But I think a loss here, and truth be told, after seeing that Exeter Demons team last week, I think it's very, very, very difficult here. I think Exeter are going to have realistically show out, and I think Exeter very well could, really start pushing to either be the third or the second best team in the Premiership South. I know that's a big claim.
Yeah, I think other things as well, but I'm not saying it right now.
Fine, that's absolutely fine. So obviously the Prem North game between the NTU Renegades and the Newcastle Raiders has been postponed. So we're going to jump straight down into the Scottish one. Stirling versus Heriot Watt. Obviously Stirling having an absolutely disastrous start to the season, getting shut out by the Edinburgh Napier Knights. Heriot Watt putting on a good performance against Glasgow in a losing effort last week. They were winning that game at some point. I think they were up by, I was going to say at least a touchdown, but ended up losing the game 16-12. Do you think Stirling can come back here?
Yes, yeah. I think, what was it? Stirling won their week, their first matchup.
No.
Are they 0-1 of the season? Are they? Sorry.
Yes.
Okay, I still think they can win. Heriot Watt haven't looked good. They pulled a bit out against Glasgow. But ultimately,
actually, no. I think Stirling might be 1-1 with they had a walkover from Aberdeen.
Oh yeah, sorry, they had that Aberdeen walkover. Yeah, look, I think if they've beaten Aberdeen, they clearly got something in it.
Brilliant.
No, I don't think Heriot Watt looks good, and that's it. Like Napier are by far the best team in that league, and that's it really. I mean, it's a strong league. Edinburgh look good. But I think Napier just are a different level.
Well, this is like I don't know if you can just put the nail in the coffin of the Edinburgh Mavericks. Yeah, and we'll move on to that one. I mean,
the city of
again,
Edinburgh
I think
is good.
We've all gone for Stirling in that game, and we have all gone for the Napier Knights. I just messed up the graphic. Napier versus the Mavericks. Mavericks coming out against, I'd argue, probably their biggest rivals in the Scottish one, Glasgow, and defeating them pretty handily. Now going up against the Napier Knights, obviously, I'm sure the travel will be a factor, of course. But I think we've all gone for the Napier Knights, but Mavericks win this. I mean, huge.
If Mavericks win this, it flips, because I think if we look at the polls, the writers' polls and whatnot, the team that has been trending upwards the fastest is Napier. But if they were but then the gap between them and then the next Scottish team is quite significant, I think, on the polls.
Yes, yeah.
So if they were to lose this, it would. I think it would flip a lot of things around.
Yeah, I mean, like that's what we need. We need some adversity in everyone's rankings. It's not just going to be almost Lancashire and Napier. So moving on to the Northern one. Liverpool versus MMU. I think we were all going for MMU here. I think somehow MMU have found a decent amount of fandom on this show, given that they are looking pretty good. Liverpool not looking very good at all. Obviously, Jamie's prediction of the Raptors not scoring any points against anyone not called Edge Hill is by the by, and that is not true.
He's just an absolute hater of some teams, isn't he? When he doesn't like a team, he absolutely
just loves it for no reason.
I think that you could classify him as a Raptors hater.
Yeah,
I think that's completely fair.
Although I kind of get it. Like, for me, picking MMU wasn't a glowing endorsement of MMU. It was, I don't think Liverpool have it in them to beat a team that is not based in Edge Hill. That's it, really.
So,
I will say, like, again, like, it seems that we're Edge Hill haters, but
I am.
Yeah, we are. Yeah,
we are.
Yeah.
I think
again, I like to see him in Div 1, but
I could argue that Liverpool and Edge Hill are the two worst teams in Div 1 in the country.
What is going on right now? When we started all of this, we said we're going to be positive about everything.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm positive.
Two teams are absolutely diabolical. Should get out of Div 1.
No, so for me, I don't feel that way about Liverpool just because they did this so long. Seeing their season with winning the D2 North, not getting promoted, winning it again, getting promoted, being in Div 1, getting promoted to the Prem because of the National Prem. I've got a soft spot in my heart for the Raptors, but I'm just proper old head.
They didn't get promoted when they should have been promoted, and then they've got promoted.
They got promoted when they shouldn't have been. Yeah.
it's a what a
I mean,
whirlwind
but
of a
here's the thing:
time.
like, if someone offers you, a promotion, you'd probably take it.
No.
No.
We'd have said no if they'd offered it to us.
Oh, look, it's the new Barracuda players, Cletus and Tyrell Smoochie.
Oh, hi, hi, Cletus, mate. How you doing?
PhD in what is it, chimney sweeping?
Yeah. Very handsome player. I'll give him that. With a
No.
lovely coat.
No, he just got called chopped.
What? Brilliant.
Immediately called
Don't talk
chopped.
about. Don't you talk about my boy Cletus like that, man. Midlands. I think this is going to be. I think this is going to be an absolutely fantastic game here. Hallam, obviously, in there losing their first game against Nottingham Green against the Sabres. Obviously, you know there is bad blood between Hallam and Sheffield. We do know that. It's going to be an interesting one. I'm the only one that has gone for. Yes, I do. I do want Smoochie. I'm the only one that's gone for Hallam. Like I feel as though Hallam lose this one, my backing of Hallam probably is going to have to come to an end.
What your 5-year backing of Hallam?
5
My
years.
my 5-year backing of Hallam is going to have to come to an end.
Is there any
Sabres-
hype train we've been on?
I was going to say, have
Since
you
day
been on a
one.
successful hype train yet, Tebs?
I've been on the Derby train since day one.
Ooh,
You're also
that's a
wrong,
good
SJ.
question.
What?
I feel like I was on the Brunel hype train last year,
I've been
and
on
then
the Bruno hype train for years. It
and
was
then
horrible for a while.
well, yeah, and then I'd say the year before that I was on the Northumbria hype train.
Yeah.
But the problem is that it's when it's hype trains of my own creation.
Yeah,
that's when they don't
no
work.
backing to your hype.
Do you know what I
train
mean?
sometimes.
Like like
It's
last
just
year,
you in the train. No one's on it. Just you.
Exactly.
No,
It's just me.
I mean, I've kind of done that before, I guess, but not.
No, but I just mean like obviously like the big one last year was Lancaster. Like I was all in on Lancaster, and if the money was there, I'd be on the streets.
Yeah, that was bad.
Do you know what I mean?
That was unfortunate.
No, it wasn't bad.
No, I said
it wasn't bad.
as in
Lancaster
unfortunate.
almost did it, all
Yeah,
right.
but nobody could have seen Edge Hill winning it. And if at the start of the season, not
No.
one sat there and went,
No, not at all. I was justified in that one, but
No,
I
you
created
were.
that hype train myself.
You were.
I created that hype train myself, and I fell off it. But I do think I think Hallam are a good football team. I think they are gonna make the playoffs, but I feel like that thought process is gonna have to, really take a back seat if they lose to the Sabres.
Yeah,
Yes.
I agree.
Not that's not that the Sabres are a bad team. It's the Sabres are a good team, and I think Hallam are a good team. But when it comes down to it, the Sabres are very much on the rise. Not having the edge hate, we on a comeback underdog season.
Comeback underdog. You're not underdogs.
They are.
Yes, Edge Hill are underdogs.
Oh, sorry.
brother. Give me a rest.
Apologies. Yeah, by definition, they're underdogs. But where's the comeback? You were never up. You've got to be up to come back from something.
They were up because they got promoted.
They were up.
Okay.
They got promoted.
There's no comeback in Div 1 from them.
But you wouldn't know this because you never got promoted, did you? So
Yeah, exactly.
that's true.
Yeah, give it a rest, Cam, mate.
do you even have a divisional title? Do you have
No.
one? You don't have one.
Not one.
No.
Oh, I'll give you one
SJ,
of
you
mine.
finally got one, so you can. Yeah.
I've got 8 divisional titles, mate. I'm okay.
To be fair, he has got 8 divisional titles, Cam,
Yeah,
mate.
sorry, I forgot they cakewalked the league and lost in playoffs every time.
Okay, let me ask a question here. Okay, Ben, who's commented not having the edge hate. Who do you see Edge Hill beating? That's not the dig, but that's genuinely. Do you think Edge Hill can beat Liverpool? But then the problem that I've got, Ben, is that because of that double relegation happening in the Midlands and Northern One, it's really difficult for even if Liverpool come last, for Edge Hill to get out of that, because obviously as it stands right now, let's say season ended today, Leicester are going down, Edge Hill are going down, and probably Liverpool as well are going down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's as it stands.
So Edge will have to leapfrog above not just Liverpool, but then
Derby and Hallam.
the second worst team in the Midlands, which as it stands right now is Derby. And when it comes to it,
is it not Hallam?
No,
I thought Derby were 1-1. Didn't they beat Leicester?
no, shut up.
Okay.
Obviously, like Hallam, I'm saying Hallam over Derby, right? So
Okay,
this is a hypothetical, right? So Derby, so Edgehill have to go above the second worst team in the Midlands 1, and I don't think they'll be able to do that. That's what I think.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. I know that explanation was silly, but got a lot of our more experienced players out for a little bit. So when back up to speed, should be sound against a few
A
teams.
few teams? What?
A few teams.
You think you can beat more than Liverpool? I don't even think you can beat Liverpool, but you think you can beat more than Liverpool? Who out of, because it's not Lancashire, no one thinks they're beating
No.
Lancashire, but out of MMU and Manchester, do you genuinely believe that you guys have a chance? And that's not a dig, because if I was in this situation, I would also have the same mentality. Like if Lincoln were up in the this year, I'd be sat here going, who do I genuinely think we could beat? And the answer would be probably nobody. Do you think?
Here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. We've got to say here that Ben's at least showing some,
Fight. And I like that.
degree of fight, and I do like that, and I do appreciate it. But again, I think it's going to be it's not just regular levels of difficult here. It's very difficult. Obviously, like if Aberdeen could be sent down,
then you'd be fine.
And then obviously Edgehill versus Liverpool becomes the big game. Obviously, it's a big game already because they both occupy Liverpool, but I just think it's going to be extra difficult for Edgehill to get out of that.
Because
we spent a lot of time talking about that. That's crazy.
Yeah, no, well, that's it. Obviously, you're competing against things you can't control, which is the Midlands 1, and the Midlands 1 being a very good division where teams can share wins.
Yeah, and like here's the thing, like let's say Derby is that second worst team. I think Derby's a better team than Edgehill.
Well, Derby. Sorry, I'm just saying, like Derby need 2 wins effectively to match Edgehill, and then it's whoever scores more points. And I don't think it will be Edgehill.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it from me, really. On the match, I think they will beat. I think they might beat Liverpool. I think they might go 1-1.
That's really sorry. I'm just reading the Instagram comments. It's quite
that's what me and SK were cracking.
Tyrese Midge was Chris Treacle sounds like a name straight out of that Kingfield sketch. Very good. Speaking of relegation, UEA versus Oxford.
Oh, the banger, the wooden spoon bowl.
It's an interesting one. Obviously, UEA coming into the south, losing to OBU. Oxford also losing to OBU, and then Hearts last week, 13-30. Yeah, I mean, I think this could be a very telling picture. Obviously, the league doesn't finish next week, but when it comes to UEA versus Oxford, I think whoever loses that game is definitely the relegation candidate from the Southern one.
Yeah, no, agreed. I think it'll be a good game actually. UEA definitely coming in with a lot of confidence from speaking with them. They're very, very confident that they're going to win this. And I don't, you don't really hear much from Oxford. I guess I don't. Maybe you guys do, but I never hear anything from them. So it's a tough one for me. I can only really go off what I think, and I've still...
Here's the thing: you can never be counting out the Lancers. I'm fairly certain that at least me and SJ we've gone for Oxford here just because of our combined history with the Lancers. But yeah, I think it's going to be. I think it'll be a close game, sort of like. I think it's going to be a close one, much in the same way. What was it last week? Southampton and Bath last week. Jamie said that's going to be a close game. That's going to be the most. That's going to be the most even. I think we might see that this week in UEA versus Oxford.
I said that about the Bath game too, as well. I think.
Well, it's not about you because I think Jamie said it first.
Yeah, Jamie said it first. But I parrot.
So I think this is another interesting one, sort of in the same vein as Brunel and SGS. Hertfordshire versus Oxford Brookes. Oxford Brookes with a chance to go 4-0 here against the Hurricanes.
If Brookes win this, would you agree they win the division? Likely.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Good.
which is massive. Which is massive for Brooks. Speaking to both Calvin Stitt and Niall and Omar at Explosion, they do seem very confident. They seem very, very well drilled. They train, I think, every day is what I was
Their
told.
schedule is nuts. I don't know if it's like actual like kitted practice, field training every day, or if it's S&C and stuff included. But yeah, their schedule was
Fair
ridiculous.
play. I like that.
And this, and like, you can see that it's paying off for them. But again, like we spoke about it, if they beat Birmingham, we have to talk about them as not just divisional winners, but promotional candidates here. Obviously, not just by 6 points. So, sort of taking a little bit of the rub off that. They beat Hearts. They run the first half of the table. I mean, you have to just applaud.
I think
you have to applaud the last 2 years for Oxford Brooks.
I think the thing is, if you beat Hearts, you're nearly always going to make playoffs. Hearts are almost like the benchmark.
Pardon me.
Playoff. Yeah, if I look at the years that Hearts have been in Div 1, I think anyone that's beaten them has always gone to the playoffs.
Yeah.
So,
but I mean, it's a very, very interesting game. Well, in that case, then are you saying that Birmingham are making the playoffs?
Maybe. Who knows?
Crazy work, crazy work from Brum. So moving on to the Southwest one here, a game that I think we're all expecting to be a little bit of a rout, and I think it is going to be able to really show the damage, or the capabilities or lack thereof. The Plymouth Blitz hosting the Bournemouth University Bobcats. Obviously, like it's with the Blitz losing to Southampton. Bournemouth are on a roll. If they win this game, they are finally in the points, which is an interesting one. But
where does that put them if they get in the points?
I was going to say, who's top right now? Is it Bath or is it Southampton?
I think might be Bath.
Yeah, I think
no. I think it might be Bath.
Yeah, I think it's Bath.
Let's have a look.
Plymouth's going to roll, but we can hope.
It's one of those things where, like, it seems as though no one ever likes Plymouth. The people going up and then immediately coming back down, especially a team like the Plymouth Blitz. I don't want to see it, but it's looking more likely, especially because of Bath's victory over Southampton last week. I believe it was 26-13 for the Stags over the Blitz. It worries me, and I think
if there's a very funny world where if Bournemouth win on Sunday, they are only 1 point behind first place.
Yeah, and I mean, like this is what it is like
win the division.
Like this Bournemouth. Listen, we said Bournemouth would need some help to win the division, and it seems like the division is very much keen to help them get there. Bournemouth very well could. As we said, they're still my team to be represented in the South in the Bucks Big Wednesday. But I mean, it's been on a fringe, and it's been on a fringe for a while because of that point deduction.
Those games are both on 3G pitches this weekend, aren't they? So
you're gonna cry? Oh, what? I'd have a 3G pitch. Oh, man.
No. I'm saying like, it means I'll go ahead. But sure. Is Plymouth a 3G pitch?
No clue.
No, they don't. Oh God, no.
Okay.
If I don't know if they still play on the same pitch they did when I played them, but that was not.
That game is not happening if that is the case.
Oh yeah. That's I guess similar to. I'll talk about it later.
Okay. But yeah, very much the same way. And then I think this could be another interesting one in the Southwest one. Southampton versus Bristol. Interesting game here. I like the Barrack. They're 0-2, but their first 2 games have been against Bournemouth.
Yeah, that game's an interesting one. I think it all depends on how their new 5-star recruit Cletus plays. If he comes out of the gates firing, it could be a really good game for them.
They just need to win this one just to get themselves off the mark.
100%. And after seeing them against Bournemouth that first time, obviously they would even say there was some sort of teething problems, but you have to respect the defense of the Barracuda, right? They did manage to actually get some points on the board against the Barracuda. Against the Bobcats. But I completely agree that the Bristol need to come out of this one firing. You know, a loss to Southampton here it's not looking damaging for Bristol. I still think that the Barracuda are going to be able to pick up wins against the Plymouth Blitz, but you know, it may start to be slightly worrying for Bristol. I don't think it's a full case of, you know, where you've got like a Portsmouth sitting at 0-3. I don't think it's the same level if Bristol go to 0-3. Like, considering that the Barracuda, you know, definitely have playoff aspirations, going to be a lot more difficult if they lose to the Stags. South East 1, the Kingston Cougars and the Brighton Panthers. Obviously, Brighton last week. MMU or Liverpool, we've all gone MMU. Last week, shutting out the Kent Falcons 12-0. Brighton seem to be on top of the top of the world here, and I don't think that the Cougars are going to be able to get it done. I think the Cougars are very much in a very tricky situation, and because of that -2 deduction in week 2.
I think this is a game where we might see how good Brighton actually are.
I think we've already seen it,
considering they're playing a team at the bottom. I don't think we have.
No,
like, because I was going to say, like, I want to, you know, sort of hold my hands up and go, I was wrong about Brighton. I was very wrong about Brighton. I said last week, was it last week they played? But I said I thought they were going to get stomped. I thought, you know, that first game was a bit of a fluke. I was wrong there. They might win this division now.
I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility to say that they're the favourite now.
Yeah.
Even after one with obviously Kent 1-1 after that walkover from Kingston. But truth to be told, I want to flip it to the other side of the southeast. With that -2 deduction, now going up against Brighton, are Kingston suffering the same fate as potentially the Plymouth Blitz?
Yes. Yeah. The -2 in a division as tight as this potentially
I'd agree with that.
It is damaging.
I'd agree with that.
Even if they get one win, which sometimes would guarantee you safety, it might not be enough.
Like I think it'll come down to when Kingston face UCL. I think KCL are too strong. I think they're very much a KCL for me. They're a nice rigid D1 side that can go from
They're like Hearts.
From like third or fourth. I'd say a level below Hearts, but I would say very much in the same vein. In the same vein, definitely, yeah. Kent versus UCL. I think Kent bounced back here. Simple as.
That'll be a game.
You gonna tell me something then, SJ? Do you not think that way?
No, yeah, Kent will bounce back. I'll be surprised they don't.
I'll be very, very surprised if they don't.
We're at that point, I think, in the season already where it's starting to shape out a bit. There's teams that have got make or break games almost already.
Yeah.
Whether that's to either solidify winning their division, which is very early to say that, but also I think on the other end, you know, Kent have just got to get back to winning ways, really.
Right, so moving on to D2, the season debut, or the season Div 2 debut here of the LJMU Fury. Here's the thing, I don't know too much what's coming out of LJMU, but they're still my favourite to win that division. They're taking on the Stallions, who are 0-1 after losing to the Lancaster Bombers. Obviously, this is it. I'll need to see what LJMU can actually do here. I've still got faith in them. I think they were a decent enough D1 side, but maybe just had a down year. I think it's okay here for LJMU. I think they're going to take it against the Staffordshire Stallions, despite the fact that I do like the Stallions.
That's kind of how I view LJMU. Is I don't think that they're a bad team.
No,
I think they went down because they were in a strong division last year. Yeah, they scored points. It wasn't like they got absolutely demolished. So, I think we've all backed LJMU.
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah. So simples.
So Midlands 2 here seems to be that the Cambridge contingent of the Pythons, which I've spelt with 2 N's somehow, and the DMU Lions, and the ARU Siege very much the teams that are not controlling the Midlands 2, but are looking pretty good in the Midlands 2. DMU, on the other hand, unable to get anything done last week. It's going to be at DMU, but I think the Python's going to have it.
Yeah. I think DMU, as I said last week, for the past couple of years now, has been handily the worst team in the Midlands too. And from what I've heard, nothing has changed. They switched up their offensive scheme this year. They've switched to an entirely new one. So they're now teething into a different kind of offense as well. And combine that with already, I guess, being the weakest team in the division, and it's a bit of a recipe for disaster.
You can change your playbooks and stuff every season and still do very well.
Yeah, but not when you're already the worst team.
Oh, let me just say something.
That's more reason to change.
Let me just say something. Chris, Tebs picks the recent D1 team to win Div 2. Hot take. Yeah, but considering that there's people, people who are in this chat and our preseason who had Salford to win the Div.
Me.
Yeah, so
Salford will win it.
So I'm happy to go with LGMU. To be fair, if Lancaster win it, as Jamie said a few weeks ago, maybe I was a year too early, putting all of the weight of my knowledge onto the Lancaster Bombers. Yeah, I don't feel bad about picking LJMU. I
think a lot of it comes. Sometimes all we have to go off is based on what we see on socials.
Yeah.
And there are some teams that post a lot on socials. So I think that's kind of where that Salford pick comes from as well.
Here's the thing. Also,
great first game.
As we had, Coach Aaron Boca on Monday, they seem confident and they seem a lot more put together than some other D2 sides. Like I can definitely speak from experience. Been playing in D2. That if I go to a setup that at least looks as good as Salford's does, or how much Aaron described, just how much effort they're putting into the Salford Storm, that would have been a dream come true, right? But that's sort of how we've got to look at these things, and I don't disagree with anyone for picking Salford. Don't get me wrong. At the start of the season, I didn't want to put them in my top 10. Just right from the off, just because I think that they're well put together, because they hadn't played a Bucks fixture yet. I think that they're now at number 10, I want to say, for me. And it's going to be interesting when they have to play, not to disparage Kiel, but when they have to play the Lancaster Bombers, because the Lancaster Bombers are one of those teams that they get promoted, no one's going to go, oh, didn't see that one coming. But it's going to be this one. Like Salford take down Lancaster. It's going to be very, very, very interesting to see if they can put it together against LGMU. But then, of course, we've got now to see how LGMU do. But very much, as Chris says, a lot of it is for me because they've just come down. I don't think they were a bad D1 side, and I think they'll be a good D2 side to the level of getting promoted. And I don't know if I can. I don't know if, and this isn't a dig at Salford, just because they've only played one Bucks game. I don't know if they're a good D2 side yet. I think they're a good side, but I don't know if they can push for promotion. But as Coach Aaron Bocor said, playoffs for them, which I think is a real possibility, is an absolutely it's a complete success for the Salford Storm if they manage to make the playoffs. Could you imagine if the Salford Storm win the D2 North in their first season? That'd be crazy work. That'd be crazy work.
With the division and the conference.
Oh mate, it'd be so good. Like that would be a case where I would go, and I'd have to go and watch a Salford game just to be like, this is like a playoff Salford game. I'd have to go and do it at Bellevue, so not too bad. Southwest 2, Worcester Royals versus the UE Bullets 2s. I mean, if you're going by what they said, what they told me, that you would pick the Worcester Royals, but I'm not going to do it. I think it's the UE Bullets year, or at least I hope it is. Obviously, Swansea maybe coming on that bounce back, but Bullets 2s, I really think it's their year. I really, really do.
that wasn't a shabby team that we watched when we watched them play.
It wasn't.
Like, that's a pretty
But
well put together team.
And I think that there was some points left on the board by the Bullets twos, but then I think it's a different. I think it may be a little bit of a different landscape. You know, with Gloucestershire then going and putting 50 in 3 quarters on Aberystwyth, even if Aberystwyth are bad, have dropped down in terms of quality this year, putting 50 on a team is still not. It's still nothing to sniff at, and I think now going up against, I think the Titans very well could,
Right. All I want to say, if Swansea are going to win it again,
be good at D1.
can you please,
Really score a point.
I'm sick of it.
I said this to Alex Hopkins, who I did commentary with for the Burners versus the Demons. The reason why I don't want to is because it's been up. It's been what? Down, up, down. Just stay up. Just stay up. At least Plymouth had. Well, at least Plymouth had some years, or quite a few years, in D2. They were D1, they're D2. But please, because then it's just been like, it's been, not much has happened. Plymouth come back down, Swansea go back up. Ugh. Give me the Bullets twos. Like the Bullets twos have it on the edge. They have it on the fringe of doing it. I don't think the Worcester Royals are going to be able to bounce back against the Bullets twos. Obviously, there's still playoffs for the Royals, but I really don't think they're going to be able to get it done against the twos. So Southern 2, Chichester versus Reading. I like the Reading Knights this year. I like them a lot.
Yeah,
I really, really do.
That one Chinese Chichester player who always comments on every post in Mandarin will absolutely hate us all picking Reading, but it's the right call.
For me, I really do like the Reading Knights. I think it's right at the end of the season. It's Sussex and Reading. That's a really good game, and I think that is going to be the decider. I am sort of casting Surrey out of my mind. Surrey very well could come in and disrupt that whole thing, and it wouldn't surprise me if they did. But for this one, I think everyone has gone for the Reading Knights. Surrey taking on Solent. Again, Surrey. Yeah, I don't think we've got anything else to really say too much about that. Solent aren't looking particularly fantastic.
Also, slightly off topic, go back to Swansea. I was looking at when they were last in Prem, just for the giggles. 2019-20. Tell me why they finished third, right? Do you think probably 4-4? 2-5-1. What was the Prem South just before COVID? I don't.
Mate, it was a different landscape, mate.
It was 7-1, and then just 3 teams that just went. Two wins.
Who did they draw with?
They drew with Hertfordshire, who went down.
Boo!
Boo! That was the Bullets' first.
I tell you what, I bet you that was fun. I bet you that was a fun league to have to figure out who's going down in it. So Southeast 2, QMBL versus Greenwich.
I got told off for picking QMBL, and I'm not sorry for it.
Did you?
Yeah, I'm not sorry for
it.
Who?
Who did that?
I've got friends.
I've got friends. I was going to say, you all QMBL bar me.
Well, this is it for me. Like QMBL only lost by a point to Imperial.
And that Imperial team is pretty good, I think.
That Imperial team is pretty good. It's always sort of depressing when you see a team, drop a game very early on that could be the divisional decider. And now QMBL have basically got to wait, hope, and see that if Imperial can lose a step, whilst QMBL definitely had. I think I had them to be promoted. Definitely had them to be promoted. And now they've got to sort of wait and see what Imperial can do, because obviously Imperial then going and beating Essex last week, and Essex very well could have posed a challenge, didn't for Imperial. But I mean, you still got to maintain positivity for the Vipers, and I think they'll be able to get it done against the Mariners.
Agreed.
Yeah, so last but by no means least, City versus Essex. Obviously, City, well, did they draw again? They did draw 12-12 against Greenwich last week.
Yeah.
taking on the Essex Blades. As much as Jamie may hate it, as he's out somewhere in Doha, cursing this, I think the Blades will take it. I'd love to see City pull off and like get back to that spot where they made the playoffs almost a few years ago.
That was an odd one. That one, wasn't it? They made it, but they didn't make it. It was
They made it, but they didn't make it. And Surrey, who had stopped training, were like, "Oh, it's us." Okay, but I don't know. I'd love to see City do it, but I think it's going to go the way of the Blades.
Essex are, from just what I've seen on socials, it seems that they had a couple of years after their last head coach left where it just seemed a bit all over the place. It seems like they've now got a coach staff that's is embedded in the club, and like I think they can turn things around. Like I said, I don't think they'll go up this year, but I think they'll win this game.
Yeah, I can see Essex making a return to D1 at some point. It's going to be interesting to see. Again, we're not quite writing it off in terms of QMBL season here, but it's going to be difficult for them to overcome that just single point loss to Imperial if they'd like to be playing D1 football next year. But then you've got to say that QMBL, when do they start dropping off? Is the question. So, with that, around the 47-minute mark, is the week 5 preview is done. Where am I going to be this weekend? I don't know yet. I've not figured that out. Will I be somewhere? I don't know. I haven't figured that out. The Dolphins play at 2:30. That's a pretty good deal for me.
Why do you want to watch that?
Oh, shut up, mate. Oh, my name's SJ. I support the Patriots. Get a grip. Get a grip yourself.
We're back.
All right?
We're back.
We're back. We're back.
Mate, you support the Cardinals. You haven't got a leg to stand on. So.
Rumor is you're going to trade for Kyler Murray.
Yeah. I've heard that as well. And yeah.
One small boy for another small boy.
Oh, mate, Drake May's not even that good, mate.
He is. Drake May.
Mate, to be fair, not that it's got anything to do with Uniball, but don't care. Beat the Bills. Don't care. Buffalo got rolled. Don't care. I don't care. Buffalo. I hate the Bills. I hate the Bills and I hate the Jets. They both got the Bills got rolled. Josh Allen, who? That's it. We'll see you on Monday, and we'll be doing more content. The top 25s will be out tomorrow as well as Graphic of the Week. But I mean, Graphic of the Week. Who's it? Who's got the really good one? Is Kent?
Yeah,
Kent had a nice one.
Very good graphic.
Yeah, Kent's. Basically, that one will be on there. So Monday at 6, we'll try and have someone on for the recap. Do.
What?
All right. Do stay tuned to social medias. With I will be going to a game on Sunday, so it just depends if it's me, if it's just a vlog of me sitting on my couch eating crisps, watching the Dolphins game. We got to figure that out.